Starting with some bad news for Killzone fans, as it seems that there's no hope for Guerrilla to come back to the series. This comes from an interview by the Washington Post to veteran studio art director Roy Postma on the upcoming LEGO Horizon game. In the interview, when he was asked about Killzone, he said, and I quote, "We were done with it as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was by choice the opposite of Killzone. I think the themes that this story and the characters represent are relatable for all ages and people, like having a found family of friends and finding your own place in the world." Now, this last section was related to Aloy and how, according to Postma, she can speak to a wide audience because she has that strength of a character that can resonate with a younger audience. I think Killzone had great entries, but it kinda suffered compared to Halo, that was one of the most popular first-party shooters back then, and even when compared to other third-person shooters as well. So my guess is that the studio wanted a break from that, and with Sony doing a lot better with action-adventure games, they wanted to move in that direction and left Killzone behind. Now, who knows if the studio will look back at the series. Like, them being done back then, it doesn't mean that they can go back to the series in the future. But Sony could also take the series to other developers for a new entry, and the fact that they haven't done that tells you that they likely don't want to revisit this franchise, at least for the time being. Also, first-person shooters are not the same as they were 10 years ago in terms of multiplayer. Now they must have years of content planned, and maybe it could have done better than Concord for sure, but then it would have to compete against a juggernaut like Call of Duty that has all of that figured out and generates a lot of money, which is why Sony fought back the Activision acquisition from Microsoft. I used to like the series back then. It was not like my favorite, but I like the trilogy from PS2 to PS3. And if Guerrilla doesn't plan to go back into the series, hopefully they can bring some of the classics through PlayStation Plus. So far we have the PSP titles, but hopefully they can bring the PS3 ones. It's a little bit of a challenge, but here's hoping that we can get some of those classics back. Now, would you like Sony to bring back the Killzone series in the future? Let me know in the comments.